Yeah, that is how you get right back on track.
We are back, baby. We are back. We're back. Yeah. Classic. We are back. We are back.
Winning weeks in 4 out of our last 5. And this week, you want a double-digit card? I got it for you. Roll tape. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Uncle Dan's Best Bets here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel, proudly sponsored by Connors and Ferris. As always, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. Closing in on 34,000 subscribers. Really appreciate it as always. And the loyal fans that continue to follow along here. Before we get into the housekeeping, also shout out to Uncle Dan's Best Bets sponsor, Bob Johnson Auto Group. Say it every week. I don't just say it because I have to. I say it because I want to. That's who my wife and I lease our cars with. Daryl out there in Leroy. We both drive GMC Terrains. We love them. So if you want to buy, lease, sell, trade, anything with a car, go to Bob Johnson Auto Group. Tell them that Uncle Dan sent you. Okay. We had a 3-week winning streak. We were on fire. We got cocky. We had a 12-card play in week 8. Didn't work out. Slightly nervous about a slide as we're having a really solid season here, but got right back on track in week 9. How about Khalil Shakir? The over-under receiving yards was 49.5, and he finished with a perfect 50. That's when we're starting to think things are going our way. Maybe this is just our season. Maybe this is just the season for Uncle Dan's Best Bets. So on the year now, 4-2-1 last week. I don't know if we were on the right side or the wrong side of that New England game. If you would have gotten it earlier in the week, I think it was 3.5. I waited, got it at 3, so that was just a push. But on the season, 40, 34, and 3, 6 games over 500. Pretty good. Pretty good. We can always be better. And I always try and be upfront here on this channel and with my Uncle Dan's Best Bets. I like the board this week. I think I probably had 12 or 13 plays. I narrowed it down a little bit. But I like the board this week. Comment in with what your favorite plays are this week. I appreciate as always. I know people have mentioning me on X and sending me their picks. Somebody I think sent me a UFC parlay. I appreciate all that stuff. That's what makes this fun. Is just trying to. I'm just a guy sitting here talking picks and being upfront and honest about the ones that I swing and miss completely, or the ones that I hit. So this is just total transparency here. I like the board this week. 10 plays. Double-digit cards haven't always been our best. But I don't think this is reaching because I did slim the card down a little bit. So 10 plays right here on these 2 pieces of paper. We will get right into them. We will start right out with a teaser. Okay. 2 games, 2 teams that we really like. It's just a big number. So first, we're going to tease Kansas City at home against Denver and the Chargers at home against the Titans. So you tease the Chiefs down to -1.5 and you tease the Chargers down to -1. So here are the stats for you. Chiefs, 17-1 straight up in their last 18 games against the Broncos. Next level domination. The Chiefs have also won 14 straight games. So you get them down to 1.5. They're at home. I don't think this is some letdown spot. I know there are trends out there that will tell you a team on short rest coming off an overtime game, it's tough. Not worried about it. I still think the Chiefs at home against a team they have historically dominated, I will lay this small number in that one. And I don't think, even in my mentions, even the comments here, I don't think enough people are talking about how good the Chargers are. The Chargers have not allowed 20 points this entire season. Harbaugh has that team with an identity and playing hard. So I really wanted to bet the Chargers this week. Justin Herbert looks healthy and playing really well. So I wanted to find some way that you could get both those teams, but they were big numbers. So I found the way, and we're teasing them. These are the spots that you want to tease these teams because you're teasing them through the key numbers. So you're teasing them through 7, 3, and 2.5. This is what they call a Wong teaser. It's just a smart sign where you're getting them past the key numbers to where this is pretty much just a money line parlay. It's -120 on DraftKings, but I like the tease of Kansas City -1.5 and the Chargers -1. So that's the first play of the week, starting right out with a teaser. A couple of these are not necessarily don't think, just throw, but let's not overthink these things. Okay. So I like the Falcons -3.5 at the Saints. They covered last week against a bad team. I think the Saints are quitting. They lose Marshawn Lattimore to the trade. They fire their coach. I know I've talked about it on here enough. There isn't this massive bump every time an interim coach comes in. This team, Cam Jordan, all these guys, this is just a lost year. They've lost 7 in a row. They just feel like a team that has quit. And I think the Falcons won't take it lightly because it's still a divisional game, and they still have so much to play for. They're playing well. So I will take the Falcons -3.5. Saints defense is not good. The Superdome is not what it used to be. It's not what it is when the Saints are really good. So I don't think this is some massive home field advantage. I like the Falcons on the road in the division, laying 3.5. If you want to buy the half point and just get it to 3, that's fine. I don't think it's worth that in this one. Either the Saints pull off some miracle upset, or I think the Falcons will just roll them. My favorite game of the week, Steelers +3 at the Commanders. Normally, we know how much I like Mike Tomlin in some of these key spots, but one of the ones that I have also signed too is Tomlin off a bye. So Mike Tomlin, his career off a bye is 14-3 straight up. This may be his best coaching he's done in his career in this spot. He's also 25-6 against rookie quarterbacks in his career, and he's 60% against the spread as a dog. Like, these are just numbers that when I see Mike Tomlin in certain spots, I'm just automatically going to play them. The Steelers are playing good football. The Commanders have struggled a little bit, more so like they haven't really stepped up in weight class. I know they beat the Bengals. That was a big game, but the Bengals in week 2 are not what they were right now. So I like the Steelers in this spot. I love this defense. I think the offensive line for Washington could have some issues. So I really like the way that the Steelers are playing. The Commanders' defense is not great, and the Steelers have an identity. I think Jaden Daniels maybe has not a welcome to the NFL moment, but I think Tomlin does enough to confuse him with that defense, that type of pressure. I like TJ Watt and all those guys in this game. I think the Steelers win outright, but I will take the 3 points in the book in this one. I also like the Eagles team total over 26.5 against the Cowboys. Why? Well, because Philly has scored 28 points plus points in 3 straight games. Their offense is humming. They have gotten back to just running the ball. Saquon Barkley is incredible. Jalen Hurts is just doing all the little things. Like, they are starting to figure out who they are. I don't care that A.J. Brown's not in this spot if he doesn't play, because the Cowboys defense is bad. Another team that is on quit watch, much like the Saints. So we're just finding teams that I just don't like and betting against them. Dallas has allowed an average of over 41 points in their last 4 home games. Like, they're just not good. And on top of it, you don't think Philly's going to take every chance they can to kick Dallas in the teeth when they're down? Like, this isn't just go in there and get a win. I think Philly wants to embarrass Dallas. And if they want to score 40, they'll do it. And Dallas is having all kinds of issues on defense, and I don't think that magically flips a switch just because Micah Parsons might play. Like, I get all that. I just think Philly wants to run this up any chance they can against the Cowboys in this spot. So I like it. I think it's at plus 102 on DraftKings as I record this on Thursday afternoon. 5th play of the week, Cardinals plus 1.5 against the Jets. I like the Cardinals. Shout out Matt Beauvais. He's been on them as a frisky team, an exciting team. They're playing good football. And I'm not buying that just because Aaron Rodgers looked good for one half, that all of a sudden the Jets season is saved. I still think they're a bad team. I think they're poorly coached. All of those things. So, and on top of it, the Jets are 3-11-1 against the spread in their last 15 road games. They don't travel well. They lost in New England. They've gotten blown out on the road this year. They're not the same team on the road. This hand up, this line is a little fishy to me because I think the Cardinals should be favored in this game. But I'll take the 1.5 as a home dog because I think Kyler in Arizona is playing well. And I like them in this spot where everybody's starting to buy back into the Jets, and I just don't. I don't buy it. And this could be the time where they're thinking we're back. And the Cardinals are a frisky team fighting to stay atop the NFC West. I like the Cardinals a lot in that game. Lions also -3.5 at the Texans. Texans offensive line has been decimated. They are not good. They have a ton of injury issues. And also, I can give you name a stat. The Lions are probably the best against the spread at it. They are going back to the middle of the 2021 season. They are 40-15 against the spread. 75%. If you would just be betting the Lions over the last 3 seasons against the spread, you'd be up a lot of money. So I'm not thinking here. Jared Goff also, this is going to be a public play. Like everybody's going to love this. So that's a lot of the times where I'm like, hey, let's zig when everybody else is zags. Jared Goff as the public favorite. So when his team is favored by more than 50% of the public, he's 4-0 against the spread this year. Going back the last 2 years, he's 14-2 against the spread. Going back 3 years, he's 21-4 against the spread. Everything says like, I didn't care who the Lions were going to play this week. I was just going to bet them against the spread because it's 75% going back to the 2021 season. So that's kind of that like, hey, just don't overthink yourself. Can the Texans maybe rally? Sure. I just think they've got some issues. So I like the Lions -3. I also really like the Rams -1 at home on, I think it's Sunday night or Monday. That's the Monday night game against the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins season has officially been over. They are a team that will still fight and have moments of really nice offensive football. It's just not their year. Everything's gone wrong for the Dolphins this year. They are also 1-4 straight up in their last 15 games as an underdog, and they are 5-10 against the spread in those 15 games. The Rams are getting healthier with Puka and Cooper Kupp. They're getting 2 offensive linemen back from the IR, and they are getting healthy. They have looked dominant since their bye week. I just think that the Rams are 100% the better team in this spot. At home, I like them against the Dolphins. Okay, so those were the 7 plays. I got 3 plays for you in the Bills-Colts game. I think that's why a lot of people, that's where I feel most knowledgeable. I do my research on all the picks, but obviously covering the Bills more and Bills fans here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel, probably why you're here. I like the under in this game. A few reasons why. The stat to back it up is that the last 21 road games the Bills have played, the under is 16-5. So they have just been an under team on the road. On top of that, if the Colts want any chance to win, they're going to have to run the ball, which keeps the clock moving. It shortens the game. The best defense for the Colts in this game will be their offense to stay on the field and keep Josh Allen on the bench. That I would imagine be their only game plan and idea coming into this one. So I like the under of 47 in this spot. I still think that the Colts offense isn't as bad as they looked last week, but I still think that I have more concerns offensively for the Bills. I still think they will score 25 plus points, but we don't know Amari Cooper's status. We don't know Keon Coleman's status. So that kind of gives me a little bit of worry of maybe this does kind of turn into a rock fight kind of game. Bills are favored by 4. I just like the under in this spot, following some trends, as well as what I think the Colts offensive philosophy will be to keep Josh Allen off the field. And 2 plays. One, you probably already knew it, right? It's Khalil Shakir's over. 49.5 last week. We took the over. He hits 50. He's probably like the Lions equivalent of against the spread of hitting his overs. This week, it's 54.5. That's higher than most. He would have only covered that in 2 out of his last 5 games. I still think this is the play until I said last week, I joked that the books haven't made adjustments yet. They're starting to make some adjustments, but the status of Keon Coleman, the status of Amari Cooper leads me to believe that Shakir will be even more of a focal piece in this game. So whether he got 7 targets, I think last week, 6-7 targets, I think he could see 10-11 targets, which we know is about 8 catches, probably 8-9 catches for Khalil. And that needs 5 yards a catch there, 5-6 yards a catch. So I like him to have about 60 yards in this game. So I will take the over as I always do. And finally, I almost took it last week and didn't, but I'll take James Cook over receiving yards. It's at 15.5 right now on DraftKings. Because of those injuries, whether it's been Keon or Cooper out, James Cook has been targeted 9 times in his last 2 games. Josh has been really good at taking the check down and taking the smart play. Obviously, we saw Ray Davis had the big long touchdown, but Cook, minus the 1 drop, has been pretty sure-handed. And the Colts gave up 32 receiving yards to Joe Mixon 2 weeks ago. They gave up 18 yards to Aaron Jones last week. So I think there are holes in this Colts defense that the Bills will use, that James Cook can be used as that safety valve. So Mixon and Jones both had like 4 or 5 catches. I think if Cook gets 3 to 4 catches, I think he's going to hit that over of the receiving yards. So that is the 10-pack of plays. We have been 50-50 when we've gone to bigger cards, but I liked a lot this week. Transparent, I like this week. We have a teaser, Falcons -3.5, Steelers +3, Eagles team total over 26, Cardinals +1.5, Lions -3.5, Rams -1, the under in the Bills Colts, Khalil's over, and James Cook's over. So again, pretty solid on the season, 40, 34, and 3. We will like to keep it going as always. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mom if you want to create an account, a new account, just to follow Buffalo Plus. We really appreciate it. As always, continue to get these views up. It really, really helps us. Helps us grow this channel and our reach. So appreciate it. As always, I try to comment back in as well in the comments to yours. Shout out Bob Johnson Auto Group. Appreciate them as always. And best of luck to you on your bets this week. We'll catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.